So, Dax, I watched a few disturbing things today, which led me to a story. Of course, why wouldn't it? So, I was watching Ashley Banfield, News Nation, and Florida. Although some of the laws Florida has passed, I agree with. I'm a Canadian, so I really have, no choice in the matter, and I don't think the people there really did either. So, corporal punishment in schools. Yeah, corporal punishment, where the teacher can beat thy ass. Now, it depends on the teacher. See, when I was in school, I disagree. I disagree with hitting kids. I do. I know the kids are hitting the teachers, which I believe in the removal of the child, like permanently. You need to figure out what to do with your demon spawn yourself. So no, I don't believe in that, because like Ashley Banfield said, when she was a little kid, she accidentally kicked a kid in the face when she was on, I don't know, I can't quite remember, monkey bars or whatever. And she said that the teacher who was hitting her literally couldn't stop, as in probably enjoying it. There's some people who get off on that, right? So, no. So, and I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong. Like adults, they do bad things. Should we just hit them? Hit them. Hey, you're not doing this right. Whack. Get a ruler out because someone failed. Someone talked too much in the office. I don't know. So I disagree with hitting other people's kids. I didn't hit my kids. My kids were well behaved. They did the usual kid stuff. Some kids I know, though, talking to them because you don't know how they were raised, right? You have no idea how they were raised. So, Dax, don't leave, please, baby. I'm on a roll here. No. So anyway, when I was, my mom she didn't hit us. Whatever she did, we were scared. She just would look at us and we were like, okay, not doing it again. Or she would say some mean things, which I don't also agree with, because I didn't have to do that to my kids to make them behave. But there are some little kids and some teenagers behaving badly. I don't think you're going to be able to hit a teenager and they're not going to fight back, especially these days. The teacher that hits a teenager, they're in for a whole lot of trouble. And of course, you can opt out. Apparently. You don't have to hit kids. And I wouldn't. They should be removing these kids if they're really that bad. So when I was probably like was it grade 2 maybe? I was in Quebec. I talked a lot. It's a shocker, I know. I talked a lot. And Mrs. Macrae, she's imprinted in my brain. I'm probably to be like, 8 years old. And without any warning, Dexter, any warning, she comes up and she whacks me across my knuckles super hard. One was even almost split open for talking. I don't think you need to beat kids for talking. Anyway, can I describe her to you? White hair, white. Her face was florid red, with freckles. She was a little bit of a chunkster too. I'm just describing you. I'm not, judging. And I never told my mom. You know why? Because I thought my mom would be so upset with me. Not that my mom would smack me or do any of that. I just didn't want her to have to deal with it, right? So anyways, I totally disagree with hitting kids. What is the solution? Have I ever been angry when my kids were yeah. But anyways, so I just sat there and cried at my desk. And did I learn anything that day or even that week? No. But I understand teachers are having a really rough time. Parents aren't parenting. Like I said, I didn't hit mine, and mine behaved really well. It's a way of talking to your children. It really is. But, Dex, hey buddy, I want to tell you other stories, okay? I do. You're making me forget. Corporal punishment will ensue. So anyways, when I was a little kid, I moved from Quebec to Ontario. I'm still little. I'm probably the same 8 years old. And this boy named Philip, I still can picture what he looked like. Yeah. You know what Philip did? He got mad, and he was only like, I don't know, 8. He punched the teacher in the face. And she was kind of a little old lady back then. At least she looked like it to me. And she had a black eye. And guess what? She still had to come to school, and they still let him come to school, and she was afraid of him. And he'd walk around the classroom, and she would flinch. It was horrible. And even at my little age of 7 or 8, I knew this was horrible. I did. So, I have to backtrack. But at the other school in Quebec, before I came to Ontario, they had a dress code, I guess, rules. We didn't have to wear uniforms. I did go to a school where you had to wear a uniform. And believe me, it wasn't a private school. It's just how it was. You weren't rich if you wore a uniform. Trust me. No one paid to go to these schools. So what happened was, my mom sent me to school. And I think I'm like, I don't know, probably the 7 or 8. And I can still remember the outfit. It was a pink skirt. You know, shorts attached to a little skirt. It was pink. It had little black sailboats on it. And this cute little blouse with a ribbon tied at the neck. So, back in the day, there was a kind of outfit. It was called hot pants. You know, teenagers wore them, hot pants. And they used to call them hot pants. Anyways, so my teacher, my female teacher, sent me to the principal's office at 7 or 8. Oh, I also had little patent shoes with little socks. And it was a male principal. And he said to me, you're going to get the strap because you're not dressed right. And the teacher was standing in the doorway with her arms crossed. I was a little child. It was the cutest little outfit. So sweet, so innocent. And you know what? No, but cheeks were showing. But it was like a normal skirt with shorts under it because you're playing. And you know what? You don't want it to flip up. So anyways, he said, come here. He got the strap out and he said, you have to pull your pants down. Oh my, you know what? So I said really loudly, because I guess my mom had told me this. I don't remember it. I said very loudly as I faced him, my mommy says that if anyone asks you to pull their pants down, they're a pervert. And I didn't know what pervert was. I just knew that I was a shy, little anxious child, and the thought of even getting nude, to me that's nude. Your little underwears are showing. And maybe he would have pulled my underwear. I don't know. And I do think he was a pervert. Anyways, so he said, okay, put her back in the class. So I went home and I told them that my mom, I told them what they did. And my mom, oh my goodness, she wasn't a warm lady. She was actually a cold mom. But hey, Dexter, we were property, and you do not do anything bad to her property. What are you doing? And so what happened was, look at him. He's Dexter. You want me to scratch under your chin? Is that what you're doing? So the next day, we go to school. I'm dressed in another dress or something. My mom is so mad that, you know, when you see parents and the kids running and their little hairs flopping up and down on their head, Dexter, because their mom is dragging them somewhere quickly because they're angry or in a hurry. Well, guess what? She says, I want to see the principal. Just up the stairs. And she said, don't you ever touch my child. Oh, I didn't. Don't threaten to touch my child. Don't you ever. What kind of pervert are you? That a girl's little skirt. You know, Dexter? Okay, I think we're almost done here, right, buddy? Hey, so that's Wiley's little cave. It is. Well, you can go in there if you want, but he drools in there, right? So anyways, I remember that. She went down there, and then we went home, and nobody talked about it. Nobody talked about it. Dex, she might not have been the best mom, but at least she kept her property neat and taken care of. Okay. Anyway, I guess that's about it. Love you. If you like this video or not, like and subscribe or give me a negative. But that's what happened to me. So, I don't believe in letting teachers hit children, because that's what it is. Corporal punishment is hitting them. It's not making them stand in a corner. Or I don't believe any humiliation tactics. I believe in removal of the child from the classroom. I don't care what the parent's doing. I don't care if they have to work. I do not care. You know, I had to go get my daughter from school one day for an incident. And what did I do? I brought her home. Yes, I did. But anyways, no, because you're going to get those psychos that are going to keep hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting. And depending on the person's strength, it could really hurt a kid. It could. Removal, not abuse. I know. Teens are and youngsters are terrorizing teachers. It's unreal what they're doing. Removal. Figure it out, people. They're your spawn.